When I was just a young lamb, I used to pick berries with my father in the woods by our village. I always thought I'd look back on those trees with fond memories. Now, all I could think of is what they looked like when they burned. Never knew why the bishops ordered us lambs to be killed, but all I've known of us since was fear.
I heard the boss say this is the last one.
Yes, and he was quite the tough one to chase down. I wanted to cry out as they ushered me towards their ritual circle. But what would that do? Every single one of these men wanted me dead. All I could do was approach their altar and bow my head.
Before us stands the last of its kind. All others we have hunted down and put to the blade. With this final sacrifice, the prophecy will be impossible to fulfill.
The heretic who lies below will be condemned to eternal captivity.
A prophecy? So much blood because of a prophecy? We were peaceful. Whatever their prophecies said, we meant them no harm. But that didn't matter now. Justified or not, they'd gotten their wish. I felt my body tense. And then, nothing. No pain, just the void. I woke up surrounded by a white mist. My eyes cleared, I noticed a pile of skulls and thick chains poking out of the void. Can't tell if this is heaven or hell, I thought to myself as I struggled to my feet. In the distance, though, I heard the angry roar of some beastly man. I figured there was no use in hiding from the creature. After all, I was already dead. As I approached the towering humanoid monstrosity, though, it looked down on me with a sinister smile.
Come closer. Fear not. Though you are already dead, I still have need of you.
Who are you? Where am I?
I, little lamb, am a god. And this is my realm.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to disturb you.
Fear not, little creature. It was I who summoned you here. Those foolish bishops thought they could keep you from me and death. But instead, they sent you straight to me.
What could you possibly want from me?
A bargain. I will give you life again, but at a price.
What could I possibly have to offer you? I live my life homeless and hunted. I have nothing to give.
I care not for the frivolous materials of the mortal world. No. All I ask is you start a cult in my name. Do we have a deal?
A cult? But I could never. The bishops already want me dead. To turn against the old faith would only give them more reason to hunt me.
And I offer the power to keep them at bay. For the leader of the cult is the bearer of the Red Crown, my most powerful of artifacts. It will give you the strength to strike back at those who hunted you.
But I don't want to strike back. I only ever wanted peace.
A peace they never offered. Do you believe the bishops will stop at you, little lamb? Their taste for blood will not be sated. A new prophecy will arise, and war will be slain. I offer you a chance to liberate these unfortunate souls, so that they may not endure your fate.
For a moment, I hesitated. I knew this was a deal I could not come back from. To take the crown would be to sell my soul. But if that's what I had to do to protect the other innocent creatures of this forest, then I know I had no real choice. Fine. I'll start your cult.
Then the pact is sealed.
The moment I woke up on that altar, was exhilarating. I felt the crown's power as it manifested the sword in my hand. Though I'd never fought before, I felt my body move with the experience of a grizzled war vet. My previous captors fell under my blade like wheat ready for the harvest. Until I came across an unfamiliar face. Gah! Fear not! I am Ratu. I was once a chosen vessel like you. I was sent to guide you. We are deep in the lands of the old faith, after all, and in grave danger. Wait, you were once a vessel? That means the cult already exists. I thought I was going to have to build things from scratch. Exists is a strong word. I was not so successful in getting things off the ground. Still, my instructions were to lead you to safety. Continue through the woods. Escape lies ahead. Wait, so are you saying there isn't a cult? As I said, that is a safe place that we can go. It is technically our land, and therefore the cult. But for now, all that matters is that it is safe. Okay, then I guess I'll follow you there. I was confused, but I didn't have time to stop and think. As he said, we were still deep in Old Faith territory, and their cultists seemed to be working on a kill-on-sight basis. Even still, they were no match for my new powers. But suddenly, I could hear terrified cries for help. I knew that I was in a rush, but I couldn't just leave them behind. I followed the cries to a small clearing, where a group of cultists were gathered around a chained and bound cowman.
Almighty Bishop of the Old Faith, we ask you accept this sacrifice of this wretched soul.
You! Stop what you're doing right now!
Hey, who out there interrupts our ritual and trespasses on sacred grounds?
It is I, the new bishop of,
The one who waits.
The one who waits! Wait, who said...
He speaks of heresies. Kill the wretched beast.
Before I could question the voice, the three cultists lunged at me. Though I beat them and the slugs they summoned handedly, I couldn't help but feel a pit in my stomach. Now wasn't the time for that, though, because I had a new friend to save. Oh, thank you. Thank you for saving me. These cultists, they came out of nowhere. They ransacked my home and they took me to this altar. I'm truly sorry you had to go through that, my friend. I know you must be devastated. It took me years to recover after they burned my home. But I can help you. I can offer you sanctuary. My god, the one who waits, is pushing back against the bishops. Come with me. We can keep you safe. I was worried he would call me crazy. I knew I probably would if I was in his shoes. But instead, his eyes lit up. Of course I'll come. Anyone willing to fight back against those evil bishops is truly a benevolent god. I felt as with his words of faith, a crack opened in the ground, swallowing him to a red circle below. I'm going to choose to believe that was my god's doing, and that he's safe, I thought to myself as I pressed on towards safety. As I raced deeper into the woods, I eventually came across a small shrine with a ritual circle at its center. It looked so foreign, and yet it felt familiar.
We've reached safety. You've done well.
This was the clearing you're talking about? We're practically on the cult's doorstep. We have no room to build here. We're just sitting ducks waiting to be slaughtered.
Oh no, this is not our land. But you see, the Red Crown will allow you to use those markings on the ground to transport yourself great distances. It will take you to my temple, which has fallen into ruin. There you'll be able to begin your new cult.
So you're saying I just step on this circle and it takes me to safety?
Yes, it will take you to the temple.
And you're sure the cultists can't follow me?
None of them bear the Red Crown. These markings are as useful to them as fire underwater.
Oh, okay then.
I will meet you there.
I don't know how, but when I stepped on that ritual circle, I knew exactly how to open the portal. It was almost like muscle memory, as if I'd made the trip over 1,000 times. And when I appeared again, I was in a large, secluded field. Somehow, I knew that I was far away from the bishop's land. For the first time in years, I was safe.
My friend, you look as if you're about to cry. Were you hurt on your crusade?
No, it's just, I can't remember the last time I was in a place that felt safe.
Ah, yes. I remember when your kind were first deemed an enemy of the old faith. Your life must have been quite difficult. But fear not, the bishops cannot find us here.
What is this place?
Ah, this was once my temple. But this hallowed ground, which was once mine, is now yours. This crumbling ruin is to be the site of your new cult.
Are you really okay with just giving up your home? Just like that?
Oh, there is no need to worry about me, friend. After I lost my place with the crown, I made my own shack deeper in the woods.
Even so, you'll always have a place here. Consider it thanks for saving me.
Now is not the time to get sentimental, my friend. We have much to do. We begin by indoctrinating this poor soul into the warmth of your cult.
Indoctrinate? That's such a harsh word. People join when they see our mercy. We aren't indoctrinating anyone.
You have my sincerest apologies. It was just a poor choice in wording. Either way, your friend awaits.
Oh, right, sorry. Not wanting to keep my new friend waiting, I rushed over to the small altar in the clearing. It appeared that this is where he who waits summoned the man I saved earlier to. Welcome to my lands. Sorry, they aren't much to look at now. I only recently became a follower myself. Oh, that doesn't matter. What matters to me is that this is safe. I'll help in any way I can if it means that we can fight back against those wretched bishops. Oh, I'm so glad we feel the same. I just realized I never asked your name. I'm so sorry. My name was Marge, but I want to leave that life behind me. That name carries too many burnt memories with it. Please, just call me Hammer. I watched as Hammer dyed his hair pink to signify the change. Welcome, Hammer. If you're able to work, it would be helpful if you could cut down some of the trees so that we can begin building. Oh, of course. I'll help however I can. As Hammer cut down trees, I set up a cooking pot and picked some berries to make us a nice berry stew. But as the day drew to a close, Ratu appeared once more before me.
I see you have been busy, my friend.
Yeah, it seems there's a lot more work to this than I thought there'd be.
Well, it will all be for naught if people have no place to worship. We must build a shrine. But first, you will need more followers and more gold.
Wait, but how am I supposed to reach out to people? How am I supposed to let people know this place exists? I'm sure if word got out, the bishops would come and rain hell down upon us.
I assure you, my friend, the bishops will never find this place. But you are right. People will not come just because they know of us. You must go out and save them from their oppressors, so that they may see the glory of your word.
But how am I supposed to save them?
Through crusades, my friend. You must fight against the bishops and their cultists. Cut them down so that those they crush may see your mercy. You will be their savior, and they will come. Besides, these crusades will work towards another goal as well.
What other goal?
You see, our mutual benefactor, the one who waits, has been trapped by the 4 bishops of the old faith. Each of them guards a chain that binds him to the realm beyond.
And you're saying that during these crusades, I have to break these chains?
Yes, we have conjured openings to their realms. It is your task to track the bishops down and slay them so that he may be freed.
But wait, I can't do that. Everyone knows the bishops are gods among men. I'll just be killed.
Nonsense. You now wield the red crown. It is them who will fall beneath your feet. Now go. There you shall find gold and willing recruits. And for those who are not willing, convert them by force.
I felt my stomach drop as Ratu burrowed back down into the ground. I can't do this. I'm finally safe. I can't go back out there. I'm not a savior. I'm just a lamb.
Are you really going to do this all day?
What? Who's there? Who is that? My eyes darted around the clearing, but it was empty aside from Hammer, who was too far away to have spoken.
You won't find me looking around like some scared child.
I stood there in stunned silence.
You're no fun. I figured you'd ask at least a few more questions before giving up.
It was in that moment I realized something. Are you the Red Crown?
Oh, a smart one. It took Ratu nearly a week to figure that one out.
What do you want?
The same as you, I suppose. To be free of the petty fighting between these gods.
And I guess that means you want me to stop them.
I didn't want to assume, but I don't see anyone else with the power to do it.
But I don't have the power to do it!
Oh, please. You have me, which is more than enough.
I don't think I trust that.
Fine then, let the little creatures die. It won't be my hands that their blood is on anyways.
That's not fair. All their fate should not lie on me.
And yet they do. So are you going to save them, or are you going to be a coward? Yeah, fine. But let me ask you this, kid. Who do you think kills the most people?
What?
Because if you ask me, I'd say the cowards kill the most. Why do you think those cultists sacrifice people? Because they fear what the bishops will do if they don't. Why do you think the bishops had every lamb hunted down and killed? Because they were scared of some prophecy. Why do you think they only appeared once you, the last of your kind, were on the chopping block? Because they're all cowards. So if you want to be a coward, by all means, don't let me stop you. Just know this. Thousands will die if you do. And by all accords, you'll be no better than any of them.
I know what it's like to be hunted. To spend your whole life in fear of your own death. It's a fate that none should have to suffer. Fine. I'll fight.
That's all I needed to hear.
With that, we ascended into the clearing, and with Hammer's help, we opened the portal. It's easy to forget just how great the rush of adrenaline feels. The way your blood pumps in your ears as you dive past an enemy's blade. The way your heart pumps as you strike back with your own. I felt the fear disappear as we rampaged to the land of the old faith, cutting down the cultists that had once hunted me. But as I entered a clearing, an unfamiliar face greeted me.
Praise the Lamb, conduit of great power, promised liberator of the one who waits below. So the cards have shown me once, many lifetimes ago.
I'm sorry, what?
Ah, it has been too long, my friend. Or has it yet to be?
Do I know you?
I know you, and yet you seem so unfamiliar. You see, I've always drawn your cards, little lamb, and yet this is the first time.
Cards? What cards are you talking about?
Take these cards, and I will draw another each time we meet. When drawn by me, they will grant you power.
What does any of that mean? Who are you?
As I have already said, I am Clornek. Or had I not said that? And my counsel is for a later time. For now, just take these cards.
Confused, I reached out and took the card. But as I did, I felt my eyes roll back, and in an instant, a map of the surrounding woods burned into my mind.
The fates have spoken. Who will listen?
That man terrified me, so I rushed out of the clearing.
I can tell you're scared of him. He spoke the same way with Ratu. You don't need to fear him. He means us absolutely no harm. In fact, if you can look past his oddities, his cards are quite powerful. You should visit him more often.
Fine. My crusade continued until I reached a clearing full of bound-up corpses. After slaying the bats that roosted there, a terrifyingly familiar face appeared. I felt as I lost all control of my body, and I was lifted into the air.
How can this be? You were put to the blade, lamb, as all your kind were. And yet, here you stand before me, unrepentant. The crown, his power, could it be? But I am still stronger. Turn tail and run, little lamb.
I could feel as my heart raced as he lowered me to the ground.
You really going to let that get to you?
He was here. One of the bishops was here. I couldn't do anything.
And he's a coward.
What do you mean?
Do you really think that one of the bishops is about using that power to just snap your neck and be done with it?
What are you getting at?
Well, he can't just use his powers to kill you. He's not strong enough. To kill you, he'd have to fight you. And he's not sure he wins that fight. You've got him scared. He's talking big, then turning his tail. Like a coward.
That makes sense.
Now then, Shall we continue?
Yes. As we continued our crusade, we found a clearing full of stone that would be perfect for construction in our new cult, and once again ran into Clawneck, where he gave me another card. But as we pushed deeper and deeper into the forest, we found an old temple, and inside awaited something I'd never dreamed of.
You have come far enough, little lamb. My followers are willing to do anything for me. Can you say the same of yours?
I give myself to the cause, almighty leader. Wait! You don't need to do this! You could be free! My cries fell on deaf ears.
By the blood of the great ones, destroy the Red Crown.
Dear God. How could someone so willingly give themselves up? How could a man see himself turned into such a creature and still fight for the one that corrupted him? I didn't know, but I knew I had to end his suffering. So I cut away at his beastly shell until the man himself was free. Please, spare me. Please, you do not need to fear me. I will not cut you down. You would show mercy to me? But I tried to kill you! No, your bishop tried to kill me. You were only his pawn. I feared what he would do if I did not give myself over to him. But you seem different. You're right, because in my cult, none are expected to die for me or my god. Then please, convert me to your cult. I will follow your teachings faithfully, I swear upon it. And we're happy to have you, my friend. With the help of the Red Crown, I raised the man high and opened a portal to safety.
Well, aren't you the merciful leader?
I took on the Red Crown to save people, not kill them.
I know, I was there. Though at times I do wonder how well those morals of yours will hold up.
I didn't want to respond to that. Instead, I simply continued into the temple's coffers and gathered the gold I needed to make my shrine. As I went to leave, though, I noticed a door by my teleportation sigils. As I looked, a red line crawled across it. What's that?
That is the door to Leshy's temple.
You mean the bishop's behind that door?
Yes, though you have nothing to worry about. I doubt he'll come out willingly.
But what's that line?
A tear in the protective seal on it. Seems taking out his cult weakened it. Take out a few more of them, and I'd say we could take the fight directly to him.
I don't know if I'm ready for that. With that terrifying thought in mind, I returned back to the cult. You're back! I must say, I am relieved to see you have made it safely, and you've not returned alone. You've convinced more to join our faithful flock. Well, once they saw the horrors and how they were treated, it was easy to convince them of our righteousness. Well then, let us welcome these new converts, so that we may continue. After dyeing our new follower's hair pink to officially bring him into the cult, I set to work building a shrine. I put it in the center of the clearing so that all may see its glory from anywhere inside our lands. Praise be, your followers can now worship you. Wait, but I thought we worshipped the one who waits below. They worship you, so that you may be stronger for him. I don't know how I feel about that. You will learn to love it in time. Now, it is time that you build a temple. I will see you once one stands high in this clearing. Oh, okay, I guess. I'll see you then. As I walked over to the construction board, I saw I had enough wood and stone to erect a temple, but rubble still sat in the way of where I wanted it. After it was removed, I set to work on the construction. The others soon came to my aid, and in no time at all, a temple stood tall behind the shrine. Ah, I see the temple is built. Well, I didn't really have any other projects planned, so I decided to just make it a priority. That was smart. After all, the temple is the center of your cult. From there, you will preach sermons to grow stronger and perform rituals to mold the fragile minds of your followers. Oh God, that's horrible! You make it sound so manipulative. Well, you are responsible for maintaining the faith of your cult. If it falls too low, your followers will dissent against you and eventually leave. How you keep faith high is up to you, but to mold their beliefs to match your own is a simple way to ensure it's never an issue.
But if I just speak honestly, they shouldn't have any reason to leave. I shouldn't have to mold anyone.
If that is what you truly believe, then your followers are ready to hear your word. Show them that you are their great leader. Preach your sermon from within their temple.
I did just that. With the new temple built, I called my followers to have them gather around. As you all know, the bishops of the old faith have sought blood. It started with the lambs. They called for us to be killed over a prophecy that they made. And when we were all dead, did they stop? No. I found poor Hammer bound on the very sacrificial altar they used to kill my own. Their prophecy was nothing but a lie to mask their craving for flesh. And not even their followers are safe. What do those who are loyal to them have to look forward to? What is their reward for years of boundless service? Ask our new friend here. They get nothing but mutation. The bishops warped his flesh into something monstrous, something feral that he could not control. We do not resort to such barbarity, for he who waits does not call for sacrifice. He does not bend the flesh of those who serve him. He does not ask us to lose ourselves in violence for his will. He calls us to fight back against these evils. That is why I have come here today to tell you, each and every one of you, that I will not rest until these bishops are slain. With his aid, and with your faith, I shall carve a path through the old faith's land and slay these evil creatures that have filled our lives with fear. Through him, through me, you will be free. An uproarious applause rippled through the temple as I felt their faith flow into me, and I felt the crown surge with power.
That wasn't half bad. Keep preaching like that, and we'll have the bishops dead in no time.
I simply told them the truth.
Really? Because last I checked, you still plan on fighting the bishops.
Well, I guess it's like you said. If I don't fight them, then who will? With the temple built, the cult started to explode. I ventured deeper and deeper into the woods, liberating more followers as I cut through Leshy's cultists. With help from the new members, I was able to set up a small farm, growing berries to combat the strain that our growing numbers had on our food supplies. And I continued to preach every day. At times, progress felt slow, but we were turning into a true little society. As I ventured deeper and deeper into Leshy's land, though, the tear in his seal grew bigger and bigger, until one day, after my crusade, my portal didn't take me home.
You have done very good, my vessel. It seems I chose well when I kept you from death.
Thank you, my lord.
Soon it will finally be time for you to face the first of those wretched bishops.
Yeah, the seal to Leshy's temple is nearly broken.
Good. His death is one that has excited me for some time now, so I will be watching your every move. So do not disappoint me.
Of course. I won't fail you.
No, you won't.
He's right, you know. Your next crusade will likely be your confrontation with Leshy.
I'd rather not think about it.
You'll need to, though. After all, you'll be leaving quite soon.
Look, I don't want to talk about it.
Fine, then. No, I guess you're just a liar.
What are you talking about?
I seem to remember you saying you were only telling the truth during your first sermon. And what was it you said during that? I remember it being something about not resting until all the bishops were dead. Oh, please, must I ask you to do your damn job?
We leave in the morning.
Thank you.
That morning, I felt sick as I walked up to the portals. This was really it. This was the day I would die. I'd come to terms with it. At least I'd die fighting. As I stepped through the portal, though, I felt a familiar magic pull me off my feet.
Finally, let us end this. I'll be waiting for you in my temple. Come, witness true power.
I'm going to kill him.
Finally done moping around. Good, I was tired of it. Come on then, no point in keeping him waiting.
With my nerves steeled, I continued into Leshy's land. But it didn't take long for him to rear his head again. It's just after my first fight, he held me up again.
Your persistence is beginning to annoy me, little lamb. You may think yourself clever. You may think yourself righteous in your service to him. But you should not be so trusting of the Chained One.
I'd rather trust the word of a demon before I would trust one so willing to genocide.
Oh well, it's obviously too late for talk. One such as you deserves no absolution. This will not end well for you.
As he left, he filled the clearing with a horde of his cultists that I dealt with as I had all the rest.
He's scared.
I know.
And desperate.
I know.
Then kill him.
That's the plan. I blazed a path through the forest, slaying all the evil cultists that stood in my way. They were fanatics, all of them, not willing to see the light and liberation of our mercy. I almost felt bad for them, as they chose to die over their ignorance. But it's as the crown said.
To pity a fool is nothing but a waste, for not even he knows why you mourn him.
Finally, I reached the last temple. I watched as the seal turned a bright white and fractured, exploding as the magic within broke free, and the door to Leshy's temple opened.
I grow tired of you, little lamb.
I'm tired of your games, Leshy. No more running. Fight me here and now.
I too am getting sick of this. Time to put an end to this frivolous masquerade.
I watched in horror as Leshy's cultists bled at his altar, blindly giving themselves up to him. Dear gods, what have you done? It was a Herculean fight. He towered over me in his monstrous eldritch form, hardly recognizable as the man he was before. Green acidic bile rained down from the skies as he roared. Splinters of wood-like flesh rippled through the ground as he moved. Slugs that had once been his faithful followers roamed the area, looking to take my head. But I did not relent. As he slammed his body into the ground, trying to crush me, I drove my sword deep into his side, cutting deep within. With a terrible roar, his bloated body came undone, leaving only a tainted heart intact and a pile of viscera. I took the heart, and with it, returned home triumphant. As I came through the portal, I held his heart high above my head. Leshy is dead! And that was how our small cult rose to slay one of the evil bishops of the old faith. Our celebrations ran through the night as hope for a better future coursed through the cult. But this was only the beginning. After all, 3 bishops still remained, and our cult was still far too small to challenge them all. But that is a story for next time.